Hey, everybody, it's Dr. Stan Harris, known as Dr. Breakthrough. But again, I always give a disclaimer I can't provide the breakthrough, but I do prescribe the breakthrough. And when people follow the breakthrough prescription, God Almighty provides it. What's a breakthrough? It's exploding through barriers that at one time seemed insurmountable. Now, our special guest today, David Nieves. Oh, my goodness, you talking about a powerful story. You're talking about a powerful brother. And we're going to be talking to him in a minute. But I got to change my background because this is the 9K. Again, how to make an extra 9K to 90K or more in 90 days or less. And we've got somebody here that does that. But not only does he do that, he empowers other people. He's actually the VP of sales in his company now, but he empowers other people to do just that. Hey, David, welcome, man, and appreciate you, your beautiful bride, Brooke. Nadia and I, we appreciate you and all that you do to make a difference in people's lives. I got a chance to speak for Damon Coleman. Set me up there. He said, "Man, I'm gonna get David. I think once they hear you speak, they'll like you, whatever." And so I got a chance to speak there and meet you. And what's so crazy is as soon as I walked in the door, I had a box with my books, and you and your wife walked up talking about, can we help you? Can we assist you? And I'm like, isn't he the VP of sales? And she's the VP of product. And Damon said, yeah, man, they have this servant leadership. So, and man, I got to go to Mexico also to get to know you a little closer. So thank you for joining us. And so we got three simple questions that I already know the answer. Have you ever made an extra 9,000 to 90,000 or more in 90 days or less?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've done that in this. It was a nice breakthrough.
So, so yeah, go ahead and tell us about it. As a matter of fact, I think we were talking the other day, and you were mentioning about, and I know you did set you up to do a television show, and I know you mentioned about you and your wife were doing like six figures. I was like per month. I was like that. Said I said that qualifies. I need to interview them. But tell us about, I don't, and I'm sure it's happened maybe a couple different times. If you want to share the experiences and different maybe times in your career. But take it away, man. Glad to hear from you. Appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Breakthrough. And first of all, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's about being a servant leader.
Mm.
The secret to success was given to us 2,000 years ago when a carpenter says, "So whoever asks you to walk a mile, you go two. Just walk the extra mile in everything you do." You don't. We've heard the saying, "How you do anything is how you do everything." I don't know how accurate that is for many people, but I can tell you that I believe that's a philosophy of excellence, right? In everything that you do, and bringing that attitude and that passion and the things that you do in your life, and it's certainly in serving others in the industry of network marketing, the industry that I'm in. That's what it's about. So I'm helping others. So I'm helping other people win, and you focus on them, and you just follow the Zig Ziglar recipe. You can have everything in life that you want if you help enough people get what they want. And that's all I've done in my career. And I focus. It didn't happen overnight though. I started in network marketing when I was very young. I was just turning 17 years old.
Wow.
I didn't want to do anything else after I discovered that you can make money building teams and leveraging and building systems. And I fell in love with the industry. And I had a powerful why. And the beginning was to retire my mother. And you teach on this a lot, about having a powerful why that inspires you to break through barriers, which is interesting because I was talking to to another buddy of mine, and we were talking about the concept that every breakthrough in life was first preceded by a breakdown,
Come
uh,
on.
and how that was definitely my case. I was in a place where I went 13 years in network marketing without making no money whatsoever.
Mm.
Probably made like $1,000 in 13 years. And I was known as that guy. It's like, oh, this guy here he is. David's doing it in the company. Oh, here
Right.
he is.
Doing one of those things.
Yeah, one of those things. And my friends were, but during those 13 years, I kept showing up. I kept going to meetings. I kept going to seminars. I kept reading books. I have a library. I'm in my library right now in my office. I have at least 200 books of personal development. Two of your books are in my shelf too as well, in the reading list, and many others.
Now I got to get your new book also, buddy.
It's more like a little man. It's a manual, but not nothing like yours, my man. But that was it. And then essentially, I had a breakdown. I
Mm.
hit rock bottom. I was in a situation where I was in an accident. I broke both my legs, ended up in a wheelchair. At the time, I still had a profession, which was I was a professional dancer, and went to school for it and everything. And essentially, when you're a professional dancer, you own Zumba studios. That's what I did. And you break both your legs, that's a problem. And
Mm.
so my income stopped completely. And I realized the power of the necessity of passive revenue income coming in every single month. And so I ended up in a wheelchair for 6 months. Dr. Breakthrough, here's what happened. I was 5 months behind on my rent. I was 5 months behind on my car payment. In fact, I was hiding my car in my next door neighbor's garage because he got in repo status. I tell people all the time, be friends with your neighbor. You never know when you're gonna have to hide. So she was really kind. And my garage didn't work, so I had to hide her down there because everybody could just pick it up. So that's when the unique opportunity came to my hand, and I tell people that I Les Brown says it best. He says it is better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have one and not be prepared.
Ooh.
I was prepared because 13 years of preparation prepared me for that moment. And I was already in the rock bottom where I had no choice. So I jumped on board that opportunity. And in my first 12 months, I made $986,000.
Whoa.
During that run in that
Wait,
company,
wait, 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 stop. You said that too fast, David, too fast. 13 years of preparation, struggling, but you just kept showing up. By the way, congratulations for just showing up, just staying faithful. You're what you just said is the epitome of one of the main things I teach, and that is you got to be committed to and through the process of
hmm,
being bad or feeling bad for as long as it takes to get good. If you have
mhm.
that commitment, you can get good at anything. And you're proof of that. So those 13 years, and now you're flat on your back, you're totally broke down. And I always say, before you have your undeniable breakthrough, you got to have an overwhelming breakdown. So you had your overwhelming breakdown. You're hiding your car. You're behind on this. You're in a wheelchair. Broken legs or whatever. And you're a dancer. You're like, but you get started with this new opportunity, and now in the first year you do almost $1 million. Man, what's the big difference? But anyway, say that. But I just wanted to say that because I'm sure somebody, kind of like, oh, did he just say what I thought he said? Yeah, he said that. Go ahead.
I was, people would call me mad. They used to tell me, say, David, you were possessed. I was so hungry for change in my life, the progression of breakdown, breakthrough, and then broken out.
Come on.
So I broke through and I broke out completely, and I shifted my identity
Mm,
because it's very possible during 13 years of not making any money and you start a new opportunity. It's like, hey man, I don't know. You start comparing yourself to the past, right? You're like, man, do I have the imposter syndrome? Am I an imposter by speaking success before I have success? Which is very interesting, How do you, and this is probably a question that I would like to get your opinion, is how do you tell someone that for them to, when they feel like an imposter, they're behind on their car payment, but they're still speaking success and they're still living as if they're successful. How do they overcome that feeling of the imposter syndrome?
well, like I said, you got to be committed to and through the process of being bad or feeling bad for as long as it takes to get good. And so there's a difference between the facts and the truth. So the truth is what God says. The truth is who a person really is.
Hmm.
The fact is what we see now, right? So so
Powerful.
so the
That's
fact was
powerful.
13 years you had no little or no success. The
Hmm.
truth was you're already $1 million earner. You just didn't break through to that yet. So I like to say a goal is speaking the truth in advance. Oh, come on now, you didn't hear that one. So
Hmm.
so when you're saying these things, but maybe the facts don't testify to those things, that's okay. We're not living based off the facts. We're living based off the truth. So there was a man in the Bible named Gideon, and remember, God said, "Thou mighty man of valor." But Gideon at the time was hiding He was scared to death. But guess what? God says you're a mighty man of valor. The fact is, he's scared and hiding. The truth is, he's a mighty man of valor. And the more you give up on speaking and giving life to the facts and start speaking the truth, you give life to the truth. And now you manifest the truth that God already knows. So when I started in the martial arts and I'm tripping over my own feet and they laughed at me and they called me Mr. Baboon, that was the facts. But the truth was I was a 10th degree black belt in the making, voted into the Black Belt Hall of Fame. And when my grandmaster, Sensei Walter Dobson, before he passed away, he said, Dr. Stan Harris, the guy we call Dr. Breakthrough, when I pass, he inherits my belt, this whole system. He's the one I've chosen to carry on my legacy. That's the truth. But see, the facts wasn't looking like that. But I can't live based off the facts. I got to live based off the truth. And successful people, they have that vision. Successful people keep speaking life into the truth as opposed to speaking life into the facts of what they see and what they feel and what they hear. So there's no need for imposter syndrome. So I tell people every master was once a mess. Therefore, every mess can one day be a master. So I taught the other day on this. A group hired me to speak for them now every Monday. So I said, I want everybody put in the chat, I may look like a mess. I may feel like a mess, and my finances may be in a mess, but I'm actually a master in the making, right? So that's what you tell yourself every day. I'm a master in the making, right? And that's how they overcome that. Because again, the Bible says he calleth those things which be not as though they were. And Dr. Breakthrough says you got to call those things which be not until they are. One last thing, real quick. My favorite quote, every time I do a talk, I always got to bring it in. Muhammad Ali said it. He said, and David, most people hear the first part, but not the second part. He said, I said I was the greatest. That's not the good part. Here's the good part. A long time before I ever believed it. In other words, he knew what he wanted to believe. And so he said, if I say it long enough and loud enough, I may hear it. Faith cometh by hearing, hearing by the word. So the more I speak it, the more life I give to it, the more I start believing it, the more I'll start behaving that way. And by the way, how do you fight when you're fighting the greatest? You probably don't fight your best. And so he beats the guy. Now he says, well, maybe I really am the great, right? So he says, I said I'm the greatest a long time before I ever believed it. So that's one of the things when I coach people to get over the quote unquote imposter syndrome is no, you're just telling the truth in advance. And so whether it's going to be 2 years in advance or 13 years in advance, see, you could have been saying I'm a millionaire 13 years ago before, and it's true. Now, it wasn't the fact then, but it is the truth. And now you're living that.
I was, and you're absolutely right. I was saying that. I was speaking that.
Come
It's
on.
like that. And it's a distinction, right? I'm glad you made that distinction. You know, I was doing it maybe not consciously, I would say,
Mhm.
but I was following what the book said to do,
Right.
right? Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill,
Yes.
uh, and I read my Bible called "Speaking
Come on.
Things That Are Not As Though They Are." So these things help me. And but here's so you think it's a success story, right? Because during 5 years of that in that opportunity, I made $7 million. So it was an incredible run. However, I so that was 32. I that was the company because of economy, COVID thing happened, and it was pretty hard. That company, unfortunately, is no longer around. So I made some bad decisions, and I lost it all. Lost it
Really?
all. Made $7 million in 5 years, and I have zero to show for it, and I lost it all. So
What David, part of that though is, and see, in network marketing, that's why I tell people, if you don't grow before your money grows, eventually it'll shrink back down to where you are, if not even further down. So in network marketing, a lot of times people, when they start making money, they start spending more money, right? And so
mhm.
when your outgo is more than your income, that's your downfall. So it
Yeah,
doesn't
correct.
matter if a person's making $100 million, if they don't put a governor, you know what I mean? It happens. But again, because they say the average millionaire is broke 2.5 times because we also take risk, right? But that's just part of the story. And your story is helping somebody because somebody, David's watching this, and they were like, man, I made a lot of money and lost a lot. Wait a minute, it happened to him too. So I'm listening extra good now. Keep talking, David.
Here's what happened. So I ended up losing it all. My wife. God, she's incredible. And for those of you out there, you got to get yourself a partner that is like
Mm,
it's your rock. She was like, okay, so we're broke. Cool. I'll go shop. I'm gonna start shopping at Walmart now. And she goes, I'm gonna start Instacarting and I'll start knocking doors selling houses. You focus on our wealth and creating wealth again.
Come on.
That's powerful, right? For a
Yes.
woman to say, and I was like, just you're a keeper. That's my keeper. That's it. So she did that, and it was incredible. So what what that one lesson that I learned was during that experience was there's a process of wealth, and I would call it really four stages. Stage number one, you got to make money. I was good at that. I'm good at producing. I'm a producer. But stage number two, after you make money, you got to keep your money.
Manage it.
Two different types of skill sets, by the way. Two different types of producers and keeping it. And after you keep it, you have to grow it.
Yes.
And after you grow it, you have to make sure that step number four, that encompass everything, you have to keep growing yourself.
Yes.
So those four stages, which really is three stages, the one that's just blankets all of them, was a lesson that I had to learn. And today, thank goodness, again, I live way beyond below my means. I save all my money. I'm in a completely different place thanks to that experience. So it took me about 2 years to make it happen again.
Okay.
And then in those 2 years, I was looking for an opportunity again. I knew what I was looking for, but what really sh pushed me over the edge again to find something good was my mother ended up getting cancer in the liver. And
Mm.
we hired a doctor. And some of your audience might heard of Dr. Sebi before.
Oh, yes.
Great. Dr. Sebi and his team saved my mother's life. We hired his team, and she had the cancer the size of a cyst, and the size of a quarter in her liver. We ended up hiring the Dr. Sebi's team, and Mrs. Dr. Sebi was our coach and working with us, and they put my mother on a fully alkaline diet. They
Mm.
detox her colon, and they also oxygenated her cells through a process of nitric oxide, and they put her on the mineral drink called CMOS.
Mhm.
So we ended up 45 days later. I took her back to get an MRI, and the cancer was not. The doctor couldn't find it. He was like, "This is
Hallelujah.
yeah, this is incredible." He goes, what are you doing? I've never seen this before, and today my mother's cancer free.
Wow.
Here's and that experience. That's where I was. I was planning to go back to traditional business. Really, I was like, okay, I'm going to go traditional business. I have sales skills. I can build a business. But after I saw that experience, this is what took me to my current company, Vital Health. I saw that the impact it had in my life to see my mother be able to surpass that and beat cancer. I saw the impact in my the rest of my family. I saw the impact on my mother, and I remember my family crying. Everybody's crying, so happy. That's when I looked at my wife and said, "Listen, I want to get back to network marketing." But I want to look for products that when people take them, it makes them cries, just
Come
like we're
on.
experiencing right now. And it took me about another year, actually, before I started looking again, looking around, and my search took me to the desert in Hermosillo, Mexico, where
Mm.
there's a little clinic there with a doctor named Dr. Tony Rodriguez, who is doing some incredible things off that clinic. I mean, just similar stories that Dr. Sebi was creating, very, very similar, if not almost identical. And so I sit down with Dr. Tony and I asked him the question, how are you having all these testimonies coming out of this clinic? I mean, like Dr. Breakthrough, it was like testimonies that defy what modern medicine say is possible. And so
David, when you give the body what the body needs, the way the body can utilize it, the body will do what God originally designed it to do, which is to heal itself and rejuvenate itself, right?
man, I ended up sitting down with Dr. Tony, really interviewing him and having a conversation. I wanted to know what he was doing. I wanted to know how he's having thousands of patients have these results that he's having, and how he's been doing it successfully for 13 years in this clinic. And he sat down with me and asked him, "How are you doing?" He goes, "David, it's very simple." He has a very thick Latin accent. I'm not gonna give you the accent, but he said it's very simple. he goes, I detox the body. That's number one. I alkaline the body. I oxygenate the cells, and I give minerals to the body. It was literally the same protocol Dr. Sebi used.
Wow.
And then I realized, I said, whoa, for the first time in the history of entrepreneurship and marketing, here comes a company that is not marketing a just a set of products. They're marketing an equation that governs the laws of how the body recovers. That's it. So now, now being in vital health now for almost 2 years, what I've seen has been nothing short than a I don't want to say health claims, but nothing short than something that will blow people's minds away with what is possible when you follow an equation that governs the laws of how the body recovers.
Well, I know when I spoke for the company, they mentioned that it was like 40,000 testimonials or something that
Mm.
documented that they have, something like that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's I mean, the number
Well,
one, actually, just one metabolic. I just got done reading. I'm still almost done with it. It's a book called Good Energy by Dr. Casey Means, and she in that book she talks about there's 175 million people in the United States that are pre-diabetic.
mm,
45 million of them are children under the age of 12. Now, Dr. Breakthrough, I don't know about you. I I grew up in the 80s, and growing up in the 80s, I don't remember having a buddy of mine that ever said, David, I need to stop playing. I need to put my insulin shot. I never remember that. There was no children with diabetes in the 80s. I mean, it was rare. It was like very, very, very rare. Now we have 45 million of them
well,
here in the US.
I got news for you. I was in the 60s and we really didn't have it then.
Oh, well, you had that good food in the 60s then.
Exactly.
So, I mean, so, we if we talk about a business, if we just talk about business for now, I can tell you that in business, you got to find a problem.
Come on.
And that's how a successful business wins. You solve a problem. That's it.
And we
That's
have
not what-
we've
Go
got
ahead.
a huge health problem today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's just one. I mean, number one killer in America, cardiovascular health.
Mm,
I have a website that I like to look at once in a while. In fact, I have it saved right now that it tells you the deaths of the world and what's happening. You see cardiovascular health every second. It's like tuk, 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 tuk.
wow.
Every second. Guys and women are having strokes and heart attacks.
Well,
Uh,
let me do this just real quick, David. First of all, we always put our disclaimer up. And again, folks, there's no guarantee of success. This information and the testimonial should not be considered a promise of your results. Everyone's results may vary based on many things. We can only promise an equal opportunity for all who apply themselves. And but there's a lot of folks I know watching this that you will apply yourself. As a matter of fact, when I spoke, and then David mentioned about bringing me back to speak at the convention, I said I want to make sure I'm a product of the product, and I love the products anyway. And so let me share a little bit of my results real quick, David. And then we only got
yes.
about 4 or 5 minutes to close out, and I want you to share with people if they want help and they want to follow this suit, what can they do? But just let's see here. I think I got to share my sound first. I forgot that part. I want y'all to, this is my testimonial. David got to me.
Thank
And
you, by the way. Thank you for doing this.
oh man, well, thank you, bro, because I'm glad for you, Demond, inviting me and then being there. And then everybody had such a camaraderie and such a love, man. So, folks, here's my results. All right, day number one with this breakthrough fast using the Vital Health products. 309. All righty. Watch and see what happens. All right. Day number 9 on these products. Day 15 of my Breakthrough Vital Health Fast. Starting day number 20 of my Breakthrough Vital Health Fast. I was 309 when I started. Day 25, my Breakthrough Vital Health Fast. Alrighty, day number 34 of my Breakthrough the Vital Health Fast. Day number 50 My breakthrough vital health fast. Come on. Day number 60. My breakthrough vital health fast. Come on. Alrighty, 254. Come on now. Day 71. Number 80. Day number 80 of my breakthrough vital health fast. 249. Come on. And so, folks, you can see my blood pressure. It was super high, and it was trying to put me on medication, by the way. And and I tell you, David, obviously I put the Dr. Breakthrough. I did some other things, but I decided you didn't know when I did this. I'm gonna do a 9K to 90K fast. That's right when I spoke for the company the week before, and so you sent me these products, and so I said I'm gonna see, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even hungry, so I'm gonna do what I call breakthrough to vital health fast. And so I told everybody in this challenge, I'm a fast. It's going to be 90 days, and I'm not going to eat anything. I'm just going to have water and some healthy products, and I'm be fasting and praying for all of you to get your breakthrough, and it's going to ensure that I get my own breakthrough. So here we are. Today is day 83, and I weighed in today at 246. By the way, 240. My wife said, "Baby, don't go down." I said, "I just got 7 more days. It's 7 more days." But anyway, but folks, these products work, and again, you don't have to do this all the what I did, but I would like to coach and work with you. And David, somebody says, "Man, I like what I see," and if Dr. Breakthrough's part of this as well, I'd love to get involved. What would you tell them? We just got a few minutes. We got to close out. What would you tell them?
Well, number one, I would tell you, I was asking a question. Can you get passionate about the mission to
Mm,
help other people reconnect them back to the intelligence of how God intended things to be?
come on.
Let thy food be thy medicine and thy
Yeah.
medicine thy food. Where it's no accident that the Valerian root calms the nervous system. That was by design. There's an intelligence that designed that. Or the sarsaparilla root.
Yeah,
Yeah,
come on.
yeah, the
I got all my
sarsaparilla root. Yeah, all those great herbs. It's no accident that
right.
they each have a nature to it. And that nature responds to our body, whether you're male, female, tall, short, whether you're a Capricorn or Aries, doesn't matter. The nature works of the herbs. So we're reconnecting back people to that intelligence. And if you can get excited about that, if you can get excited about the mission of doing that, let me tell you, not only are we going to be able to impact a lot of people's lives in the process, but because there's a big problem in the world currently, and the solution is something that we're experiencing and giving people solutions, there's a lot of money involved as well. And we talk, we started this conversation talking about 6 figures a month, and that's a possibility. But maybe you don't want to make 6 figures a month. Maybe $100,000 a month. That's like, you know what? That's excite me. I'm gonna take a zero off. How about 10,000 a month? And a passive way, revenue income, where people, where at the same time you're impacting the people's lives. I think the best way to contact me, sir, is to if you want to contact me, please contact me to Dr. Breakthrough. Reach out to him. He is a walking testimony of our system, of our products. We are so grateful for him. We can't wait to see him speak at our international. Well, our international is going to be next year, but our regional training is going to happen in Anaheim, California, November 1st and 2nd. It's going to be an incredible event. We're going to have over 1,000 people at that event, and Dr. Breakthrough is going to create some breakthroughs for a lot of people. And I think, thank you, sir, for who you are. Thank you for your represent. Thank you for helping so many people and for the light that you are for every single one of us. Thank you, sir.
Oh, man, thank you for who you are. Real quick, can you show that scanner? We got about 2 minutes.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
these guys,
Absolutely.
folks, let
Leave
me
the
tell
best
y'all
for
something.
last.
Yeah, because my wife is more the medical kind. And guess what? She had just gotten her blood work done. David did a test. What was it, 3 minutes, maybe?
Yeah, 3 minute test.
And it told her everything that the doctor's blood work plus a whole lot more. And my wife was ready to buy a bunch of products from me. I'm like, baby, we already got those. And she had been watching me take them, talking about how good I look. Guess who takes them every day now, baby? Come on. So,
That's right. So this right here, what it does measures the water molecule in your body. 70% of your body is water, is made out of water. So it gives us an accurate report, giving us an analysis of your body, 45 key functions, 128 page report, analysis report on your body, on all your organs, And it's seamless, it's painless, and it's very quick. Again, you can contact me through Dr. Breakthrough. We'll be happy if you're in the DFW area. We'll be more than happy to do an analysis free for you.
Wow. And by the way, the $300 price, that's if you want to buy the scanner, but to get tested,
Correct.
it's free. And a lot of times I love when they do the meetings. I know recently Damon Coleman was in Dallas and I got to give a testimony. I had a bunch of folks that came and they got tested and they were begging me, Doc, I got to get some products. I got to sign, So that's what I love. It does the work for you. So you're not like trying to sell to people. They are sold themselves when they see what's good, what's bad, and what can be bad. And then I love when you tell people you can get your own scanner and test yourself, a month or 2 months later, and you can see the
Right.
huge difference. So, David, thank you. You can stop sharing now, folks. If you want to get started, and David will mentor you, and I'll work with you as well, the both of us. I'll put my link there, and I'm telling you to get healthier and wealthier. Because again, health without wealth. Get this now, health without wealth is frustrating. When you're healthy, but your car's being repossessed, that's frustrating. But wealth without health is futile. When you have all this money, but you don't have your health, like the Queen of England, you say, I'll give up every dime to get my health back. So what Vital Health believes and what Dr. Breakthrough preaches is health with wealth is fantastic. Allow us to empower you to do that, my friend, because if you lose your money, you might lose your honey unless you have one as good as David and me. But anyway, so God bless you. And David, thank you. And folks, again, if you want to contact, if you want to be mentored, this man is one of the best mentors, so powerful, and he's so kind. And he's multilingual too. So if you're Hispanic, yeah, he can talk your language. And we would love to help you. We would love to empower you. And I'll be on these products for the rest of my life, my friend, without the business opportunity. That's what makes it a great business opportunity. So, David, again, thank you. Thank Vital Health. And God bless each and every one of you.
God bless. Thank you, sir.